UFC Vegas 58 weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Main event, we have Fiziev versus Dos Anjos. Should be a pretty good card. We'll look at each of the matchups for a final time after seeing the fighters on the scales. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and share the video as well. And let's jump into fight one. It is Ronnie Lawrence and Kakhramonov. All week I have been towards the Kakhramonov side, but there's a lot of respect for the skill set of Ronnie Lawrence. He's not an easy out for Kakhramonov. I will bring up the face-off here between these two. Not like the scales are really going to change much in this matchup. Both guys on weight. I feel as though Kakhramonov has more of a chance for a finish, I believe. Lawrence, could see him taking a decision. I have a feeling the fight goes long. I'm feeling like Kakhramonov is a bit more powerful. I feel like Lawrence might be a bit quicker. It's going to be interesting to see the striking exchanges. I think the wrestling of Lawrence might be better, but the jiu-jitsu is better of Kakhramonov. Tricky situation, very competitive fight. I am going to go Kakhramonov on the decision, but it's extremely close. Looking at the lines, you're looking best value, Ronnie Lawrence, minus 119. Best value, Kakhramonov is plus 115. I do feel like we're going over 2.5, but when you got two really good prospects, somebody could get finished. Minus 180 for that over. Kakhramonov to win by submission is a real Hail Mary, but plus 740. Really good fighters going off here that I think have bright futures, like regardless of who gets this one done. There's really good skills on both sides. Ronnie Lawrence a little bit older, Kakhramonov a bit more professional bouts. Should be a great fight. We're going Kakhramonov win by a decision here. Let's jump to Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Karl Roberson. Nzechukwu is long, awkward, and tricky. So this is going to be an interesting fight for Roberson, the shorter guy, who I think is the technically better striker. But the problem is the range for me, man. And just the awkwardness overall that you get with Kennedy and Nzechukwu. You can see the face-off here. The size difference is pretty substantial with the height and the reach. Weight, obviously the same. You see, a little more muscularity on the side of Karl Roberson. Could Roberson land the knockout shot? Definitely. If there was a knockout here, I would maybe even lean it towards expecting it to be Roberson with one. Not that Nzechukwu couldn't get it, but he's definitely a little more awkward. Weird fight. I'm riding with Nzechukwu with low confidence here on this one, just due to the physicality. The height and the reach edge is a big factor for me, and especially the way he fights from range is weird. I think Roberson, even though we've seen him at 205, he's naturally an 85er. You see the weigh-in 202.5. And Nzechukwu should get it done. I'll lean it by a decision, but it's very murky on method of victory for me in this matchup. Nzechukwu minus 126, Roberson plus 118. I do think we're going over a round and a half. Maybe that's the sneaky play to take. Over a round and a half, minus 170, and we'll ride in Nzechukwu for the win. I don't love the prop side. I'll just list them off. Roberson by KO, TKO, plus 400, and Nzechukwu decision, plus 225. I would say the over is more my interest. I don't really love a money line bet on either side. Nzechukwu, though, the official prediction for this one. Let's keep running. David Onama and Garrett Armfield 2. They'll face off as professionals this time. Fought as amateurs. Onama was able to take the decision there. I really feel as though Onama's come, a fair bit since then. And it's not like Armfield isn't a really tough fighter. You can see the face-off there. Onama, a little bit naturally bigger. We know Garrett Armfield now naturally fighting at 135. Takes this fight at 45. Not a hard weight cut for him here. Comes in against David Onama, who I feel like is a real prospect. I'm impressed by him. The way he beat Mowgli Benitez in the last one. Does have a loss to Mason Jones, who's a real good prospect. Size difference is a factor. It's a pro bout now. Armfield coming in off of wins, but when you jump away class against Onama and how powerful he's looking, even though I like Armfield's kickboxing game, I like his striking, I think he's got quality stand-up and good hands, I'm going to lean at Onama by KO TKO here in this fight. Looking at Onama money line, minus 750, Armfield plus 600. There's no value with the bet there. It's really, I think, a tricky situation to even throw down on. Onama by KO TKO, minus 112. Onama should get it done, but it might be one to sit out on betting side because it's terrible value. But we'll go Onama for the win. I think he's getting the KO. I think he's going to sleep Garrett Armfield here. Next fight of the night. For me, maybe the most exciting fight on the card, Cody Brundage and Tresean Gore. I have been on Tresean Gore all week. I am a Tresean fan. I've been watching him since The Ultimate Fighter. I like what I saw there. Unfortunately, injury and doesn't win the show and whatnot, but ability is very good for Tresean, and I think the potential's there. There's the face-off between these two. If Gore can let the strikes go, throw with higher volume, I really feel like he's going to touch up Brundage and he's going to knock him out. Dolce Gambula looked like he was on his way to getting the KO there. Doesn't. Ends up going for a double leg and getting guillotined. Tresean won't make that same mistake. Face off, similar physicality between the two. They got pretty intense in the face off, but it was still respect at the end with the handshake. I like Tresean Gore to win, and I like Tresean Gore to win by knockout. I really think the stand-up is dynamic, and it's going to be a real problem for Cody to deal with. As long as Tresean, even if taken down, can find his way back up, I don't think he'll be easy to take down either. Should get it done. Gore is the minus 126 favorite at best value. Brundage at plus 125 as the dog. Tresean Gore by knockout, plus 300. I believe he's winning by KO. And I like that KO line. I think he's putting Brundage unconscious. And I feel like it's in the first round, but I could see it a little bit later too. I'm excited to see Tresean here against Brundage, who's primarily a wrestler with mid stand-up. And then Tresean, very dangerous striker, super athlete, real potential. Tresean Gore by KO. Confident pick. Very confident. Let's keep running up to now the ladies, Antonina Shevchenko and Cortney Casey. This one is a difficult pick. We've talked about it all week. Yes, the pick was Shevchenko, but if you're throwing money down, you probably want to lean it towards the Cortney Casey side. I'm always concerned with Shevchenko, even the way she looks in the face-off here. Right? She doesn't exude extreme confidence to me. Casey looks like she has more of it. It's hard for me to backtrack and pick against Shevchenko now because there's no tangible thing or reason, and I'm not going to do that. But if you're betting on this fight, you're betting Cortney Casey. I don't see value in throwing down on an inconsistent Antonina Shevchenko with obvious holes. I know Cortney Casey's 10-9, but she still is decent on the mat. And, I mean, the stand-up game is there too. Shevchenko minus 163 best value. Casey plus 155. You get plus money on Casey. Maybe Casey by sub at plus 700 could be a Hail Mary for you. If you're betting the Casey side. I don't really recommend throwing down on Antonina Shevchenko, even though she's the pick. On paper, I see her winning the fight. From what I've seen, I can see her taking a decision here, but I don't like it. I don't want to bet on her. The money is on the Casey side, but will ever so slightly lean Shevchenko on the distance. Featured prelim of the night, Aiemann Zahabi and Ricky Turcios. I like pretty Ricky Turcios. I think he's going to get it done here. He's taking on a game Aiemann Zahabi, though, and it's not going to be an easy out for him in his sophomore UFC appearance now, coming off a tough. He's riding high, though, and I mean, the odds are definitely strongly in his favor. Good little face-off, a lot of respect. I think Zahabi brings the fight. He definitely hits hard and has a well-rounded game. I think Turcios is more scrappy and the better scrambler. Also, I'd say overall he's more unorthodox and throws more volume. That's what I think leads Turcios to the win here, and I think he'll take Zahabi on the scorecards. I have a hard time seeing Zahabi flatline in Turcios the way that he did to Draco Rodriguez in the last one. I think Turcios pushes a pace. I think he lands more significant shots, and I think Turcios takes a unanimous decision in what should be a pretty entertaining fight because Turcios tends to be in bangers. Looking at the lines, Turcios minus 185, Zahabi plus 170. Over 2.5 is minus 160. I don't hate the Turcios straight bet. I wish it was a little closer, but I don't hate it. Turcios by decision, plus 140. Maybe a line to touch there. But Turcios for the win is something I feel very good about. I see him beating Aiemann Zahabi here, especially with pressure, pace. I would lean you towards money line, though, rather than prop betting it. And I do think the over could be a casher, too. Fun fight as the featured prelim. And I'm excited to see the Turcios ceiling really moving forward. Let's jump to the main card. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's Michael Johnson versus Jamie Mullarkey. Earlier on in the week, I have been on that Jamie Mullarkey side. We'll check them out on the scales. But I don't think anything's changing here from the scales. There's the face-off. I think you're going to see Jamie Mullarkey push a high pace. And I think he's going to break Michael Johnson in the second. I think he's probably going to TKO him there. He's going to relentlessly move forward. I feel like Johnson will be live in that first round. He's not easy to deal with his stand-up game. Michael Johnson's a quick southpaw. He's very slick with his straight shots. He has power. But let's be honest, Michael Johnson has been very inconsistent. Age is a factor. Damage he's taken is a factor. It's Jamie Mullarkey by KO, TKO on my end here. Now, looking at the betting side of things, Mullarkey's not a small favorite. I will note that. He's sitting at minus 210, and then Michael Johnson at plus 205. I like Jamie Mullarkey's chances to get the stoppage here. I think we're going under 2.5 rounds, which is minus 155. Then Mullarkey by KO, TKO is plus 170. I do think that's how he gets it done. And it's going to be a bullying approach with a lot of volume. And that's how I see him breaking Michael Johnson, who is the slicker striker, but he's going to be overwhelmed by Mullarkey's pressure here. Jamie Mullarkey for the win. Next one, ladies going after it. Cynthia Calvillo and Nina Nunes. I've been on Nina Nunes all week, especially as an underdog. I think she's a quality attack. Let's check out the face-off between these two. It's very respectful between these ladies. Little stare down there. Both girls naturally were fighting at 115. Decided to jump the weight class, save the cut. Calvillo's lost 3 straight bouts. Andrea Lee, Jessica Andrade, and Caitlin Shukagan. Nunes has dropped 2 straight. Mackenzie Dern, and then Tatiana Suarez 3 years ago. Tatiana Suarez was the boogie woman at that time, and unfortunately, we never saw her fight for the belt. Nina Nunes, I think, is technically superior in the stand-up. I think she's more athletic and quicker. I think she's got a way better striking game. Her jab is on point. I think she's going to outstrike Calvillo. Yes, Calvillo does have the wrestling, so if Nunes is put on her back, can't throw up submission attempts, doesn't surmount any offense from the bottom, isn't able to get back up to her feet, could be a concern, but I'm not feeling overly concerned. I think Nunes is going to be there, and I feel like she'll come ready for this fight and outwork Calvillo over the 3. I'm picking Nina Nunes for the win. I'm going to say it by a decision. Fight that I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Nina. Nina is the plus 134 dog. Cynthia Calvillo minus 135 as the favorite. Let's see. I think we're going over 2.5, which is minus 225. Calvillo wins by decision, plus 165. Nunes by decision. What am I saying? Calvillo by decision. I mean, she could win a decision, but my pick is Nunes by decision, plus 230. Does she get a TKO? It's not impossible, plus 700, especially with Calvillo dropping the past 2 by KO, TKO, but I just think likelihood is more on the low end. But we're riding with Nina Nunes for the win. Dog attack, baby. Let's go. Let's jump to the heavyweights. Jared Vanderaa, Chase Sherman. I have been on Vanderaa, but it's not like I'm saying go out, bet it, throw your lifeline on it. It is a dangerous betting spot. Dangerous prediction spot, really. Overall, just a fight that could get you into a bit of trouble. There is the face-off between Vanderaa and Sherman. Mutual respect there. 10-pound weight advantage towards the side of Vanderaa, who is only really 2 inches longer in the reach. Not really much taller. They're both listed at 6'4". Maybe Vandera's got him by a 1/4 inch, but they look about the same height. I don't feel as though the scale changes anything. I have to pick the Vanderaa side, but it's such a murky water pick because I could see Vanderaa getting a decision. Maybe he gets a TKO. It's going to be a weird fight between these two, man, and it's one that I don't want to throw down on. You look at the lines here. Towards the side of Vanderaa, it's minus 180. Towards the side of Sherman, plus 185. Over a round and a half at minus 155, I think is possible, guys. I feel like these big boys might go a little bit longer. I feel like they're going the distance, and I'm going to say Vanderaa takes a decision, and don't be surprised if he looks to put Sherman on the ground, because Chase Sherman's ground game has looked more suspect than ever, in my opinion, whereas Vanderaa obviously hasn't looked good on the mat either. I think he could look a little better. Jared Vanderaa for the win over Chase Sherman. Final prediction, baby. Let's go. Featured bout of the night, Said Nurmagomedov, Douglas Silva de Andrade. I think Said Nurmagomedov is going to show out in this matchup against Silva de Andrade. I think he could get the stoppage here. I'm banking on him by stoppage. That's the official pick. And I do think club and sub is a pretty reasonable take in this one. Let me pull up the face-off there. There is the face-off between these two. There's Douglas Silva de Andrade. And then there is Said Nurmagomedov looking down at him. Both guys in good shape. Douglas Silva de Andrade always pretty jacked up. He's a powerful striker. Said much more slick, technical, and rangy. I think he's going to have a big edge in the speed department and the versatile striking attack game. Also, I think he hurts Douglas Silva de Andrade and he locks up a submission. I'm riding with Said club and sub. Minus 330 for Said as the lock, as the favorite. Minus 330. I said lock because that was the Finch man's lock on the money line last night. Douglas Silva de Andrade plus 300. Let's see here. Nurmagomedov wins by submission is sitting at plus 325. I like Nurmagomedov to win by sub. Plus 325 isn't a bad tag. I'm calling club and sub here, but he's a very confident pick this week. And we'll talk parlays at the end. You'll see him as one of the pieces. Said Nurmagomedov for the win. Let's get to the co-main. Caio Borralho versus Armand Petrosian. A lot of talk has been about the height of Caio Borralho. How tall is he really? Well, we're going to pull up the face-off. He's listed at 5'10". Petrosian listed at 6'2" on UFC stats 6'3". These guys look to be the same height. I don't understand where that 5'10" listing's at. Is Caio Borralho 6'1"? Is Petrosian 6'1"? I don't know. All I know is these guys are looking near eye to eye with one another, which improves my confidence in Borralho's striking. You don't have such a range edge for Armen Petrosian that you see on paper with the incorrect stats, obviously incorrect stats. Borralho has a very clear jiu-jitsu and grappling advantage too. I could see him mixing in takedowns. I think Caio Borralho is going to look good out there, and he's going to get the win. I'm picking him to do it on the cards. I'm leaning it, Caio Borralho, to win by decision here in this spot against Armand Petrosian. Now let's look at fight odds. Minus 220 Borralho, Petrosian plus 208. The over is actually plus money, plus 140. I mean, if Borralho gets the back, maybe he gets a sub, but I could definitely see him getting a decision. Borralho by submission is plus 310. Borralho by decision is plus 240. I like Caio Borralho with confidence here. I like the minus 220 even money line tag. I think he's going to beat Petrosian, man. I think using the grappling, though, big key is mixing in some takedowns. Even if he wants to strike, mixing in the grappling will definitely increase his chances of success in this spot. Let's jump to the main event. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's Rafael dos Anjos, Rafael Fiziev, the battle of the Rafaels. Let's see. Loser leaves town, maybe. Let's see what happens here. Really no, though. Both guys ranked. Extremely difficult fights for a lot of guys in the top 15. Dos Anjos, the former champion. Legend of the game, really. And he can do it all. High-paced guy. Great stamina. Solid grappling game. Athletic. Physically strong. In his prime, had those demon kicks. Fiziev, though, is the technically more dangerous striker by a wide margin. I see him touching Dos Anjos up down the center line. Hurting him. Dropping him. I'm going Rafael Fiziev by KO, guys. Now, I will pull up the face-off, but it doesn't... There's nothing that changes on the pick from the face-off. Both guys on weight. Both guys ready to go. I think we're going to see Fiziev show out here. I really do. I think he's going to beat Dos Anjos now. It's not going to be easy to put Dos Anjos away. We've talked about it. on the money line, the steel jaw, the titanium jaw, rather, of Dos Anjos. After he broke his jaw, he got surgery, and he's got that titanium in there. He's not an easy guy to knock out. Fiziev could be the guy to do it. I see him catching southpaw Dos Anjos, maybe down the center line, hurting him, even an overhand shot. Something lands on the chin, and I see Fiziev with a third-round KO as the official pick. Fiziev minus 205, Dos Anjos plus 190. I like Fiziev for the win. I lean it by knockout. Fiziev to win by KO, TKO is plus 260. Looking at, let's see, over 2.5, minus 250. I don't even like it. I don't like the over. This is a dangerous spot. Maybe you're going Fiziev money line. Maybe you're going Fiziev by KO. Let's see. Fiziev wins in rounds 3 and 4, plus 750. I don't mind that tag. I think that could hit. Rounds 3 and 4, plus 750. Fiziev rounds 1 and 2, plus 375. I see him getting a third or fourth round stoppage, leading it to the third, though. And I understand concerns with Fiziev going longer because I know he has not been 5 rounds before. It's a concern for all of us. We're going to find out. I'm going to ride with my guy, though. I hypothesize that he gets it done. Now, excuse me, I do want to pull up best fight odds. And let's talk some potential parlays to play for this card. So we need good plus, but I think we need high likelihood of success. Minus 116, Said Nurmagomedov, Jamie Mullarkey. I do like that tag. I like adding Turcios in, which brings you to plus 184. If you're not a Turcios guy and you like Fiziev, plus 177, or maybe you like both, add Turcios in the line, plus 323. I like the over 1.5 in this Nzechukwu fight, which could bring you to plus 540. This could be a swell play later on in the week. Like, I'm feeling fairly good about it. Tresean is somebody I really want in the parlay. Plus 1,000 if you added them in. I think this right here is a good Hail Mary hitter. Of course, you can take fighters out and remove them. If I just said, 3 guys with like pure value style, let me do that. Let me clear the slate so I can give you a pure value style play that I do think has high possibility of hitting. Fairly high at the least. All right. I like Tresean in my slate for value. Let me remove Turcios quickly. Tresean Gore, and you parlay him up with Jamie Mullarkey. It's plus 151. I feel really good about that. Now, of course, we can add more in. A Turcios on the line, plus 284. If you're like, listen, I need dogs. I want Nina Nunes on my slate. You want to add some ladies in, and you want to have a little bit of fun, plus 783. Go for it. Go for the heavy hitter. But I'd be cautious. I'd be cautious attacking some of these women's fights, especially. Maybe better off money line dog attacks. There's good ways to play it, though. Plus 471, Gore, Mullarkey, Turcios, Fiziev, they should all win. Add in Said, it's plus 636. I'm very confident in all these picks to get their hand raised. Seems like a good slate here, especially with the quality line that you're getting from Tresean Gore. I think you could cash nicely. I don't suggest... you could add in David Onama, plus 742 if you wanted to, but he's a big favorite. Armfield on short notice. There's been weird moments in MMA where guys pull off crazy upsets. I'm not suggesting that's the case. I think Onama does win, but also the fact that they've faced off once before could be a little bit of a concern. Let's just add Vanderaa in for the hell of it, plus 1,000. Many ways to play it. My recommendation is simple. 2-3 fighters maximum if you're actually looking to play it with like some amount of money that is, I guess, more of a concern to lose. Obviously, don't bet what you can't afford to lose. But if you want to go crazy with like a couple dollar Hail Mary parlay, we listed a few off. Much love to everybody tuning in. I think this is a pretty decent card. Unfortunately, I will not be live tomorrow. I'm going to tell you guys out the gate. It's a birthday party for my grandfather. It's a big one. So the whole family's in town for the 90th. I'm going to be at my aunt's house enjoying the party. And I will probably have the fights on in the phone. I still want to at least catch a couple fights on the main card, and especially Tresean's battle. But unfortunately not going to be live. I know it stinks. I'm sorry, guys. I will be back the next week with a vengeance, as always. And then hopefully we can get the shoeies back flowing now that I'm starting to feel better. And I believe by next week, I'll be 100%. But much love to everybody. Smash the like button if you're new. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications. Share the video. If you really enjoy the content, drop a W in the chat too. And just let me know in the comments what you have to say, what you think of the picks. Much love, everybody. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.